So every single time you sign up for something online, you give them a password. But if you ever really stop to think about what happens next, I mean, where does it actually go? And way more importantly, how is it kept safe? Well, today we are going to pull back the curtain and look at the real architecture of how the pros keep your passwords secure.
Okay, so let's just jump right in with the big one, a question that honestly affects all of us. When you type in your super secret password and click Create Account, does that website just copy it down and store it exactly as you wrote it?
Because let me tell you, if the answer to that question is yes, well, that is a huge, serious security problem. You, me, everyone on that site would be in a really bad spot. We're going to find out exactly why and what's done to stop that from happening.
Right, so let's start with the absolute basics. We need to understand the #1 danger everyone's trying to avoid. In the security world, they call it the plain text password problem. And it is just as bad as it sounds. Look, let's be real for a second. Data breaches aren't an if, they're a when. It happens all the time. Now imagine a hacker breaks in and steals a company's entire database, and all our passwords are just sitting there written out in plain English. That's not just leaving the front door unlocked, it's like taping a list of everyone's keys right on it. And because, let's face it, so many of us reuse passwords, that one key doesn't just open one door, it can open your email, your bank, everything.
So let's just make this crystal clear. This isn't a friendly suggestion. It's the absolute, non-negotiable, golden rule of password security. Everything else we're about to talk about is built on this one simple fact. You just don't do it. Ever. Okay, so if you can't store the actual password, what do you store? This is where we get to our first line of defense, and it's a really clever cryptographic trick called hashing. Think of it like this. Hashing is a super secret, totally irreversible blender. You can drop your password in, let's say it's Superman1, and the blender whirs it into this unique, unrecognizable mush of letters and numbers. But here's the key. You can never ever unblend that mush to get Superman1 back out. It's strictly a one-way trip.
So this is what's so cool about it. When you come back to log in, the website doesn't check your password against a stored password. No way. It takes the password you just typed, runs it through the exact same secret blender, and then it just compares the two bowls of mush. If they match, boom, you're in. The system knows you had the right ingredient without ever needing to see or store your actual password.
Pretty smart, right?
Now that sounds perfect, doesn't it? A one-way function, no passwords being stored, problem solved. Well, not quite. This seemingly bulletproof solution actually has a huge, critical weakness.
And here's the problem in a nutshell. That secret blender, it's consistent. Every single time you put password 123 into it, you get the exact same mushy hash out. So if Alice and Bob both use that super common password, they end up with the exact same hash stored in the database. You see where this is going?
Attackers know this, of course. They've spent years doing homework. They've pre-blended every common password and dictionary word you can think of. 12345, password, you name it. And they've stored all the results in these giant lookup lists called rainbow tables. So when they steal a database, they don't have to guess your password. They just look up the hash, and in seconds, they find the password that made it.
So how do we fix this? How do we defeat those rainbow tables? Well, we need to make sure that every single final hash is totally unique, even if people are using the same password. And we do that by adding one simple but unbelievably powerful ingredient. That secret ingredient is called salt, and it's basically just a unique random string of text that gets stuck onto your password before it ever hits that blender. So going back to our analogy, it's like adding a unique pinch of a secret spice to your password before you blend it. Now, even if someone else uses the same password, their final blend is going to be completely different because your secret spices were different.
And this one tiny step changes the entire game. Now, when Alice and Bob both use password 123, the system adds Alice's unique salt to hers and Bob's completely different salt to his. They go into the blender and come out as two totally different hashes. Just like that, those rainbow tables are completely useless.
And that right there is the magic of salting. It's so simple, but it completely breaks that predictable link between common passwords and their hashes. It makes an attacker's job exponentially harder.
Okay, so hashing protects the password and salting protects against those pre-computed rainbow table attacks. But I know what some of you are thinking. What if a hacker steals the whole thing? The usernames, the salts, and the salted hashes. What's to stop them from just trying to guess passwords one by one for each user?
And you know what? That is a fantastic question. Because yes, technically they can try to do that. And this brings us to the final and maybe most important layer of our security fortress.
The answer isn't to stop them from guessing. The answer is to make every single one of those guesses absurdly, painfully, and time-consumingly slow.
See, unlike most computer functions that are built to be lightning fast, modern password hashing algorithms like bcrypt or Argon2 are designed on purpose to be slow and resource-intensive. For you, when you log in, that fraction of a second delay is totally unnoticeable. But for an attacker trying to make billions of guesses a second, it's a disaster. That tiny delay on each guess adds up, turning a job that might have taken a few days into something that would take decades or even centuries. It makes the whole attack just not worth the effort.
All right, so now that we've seen all the complex work that goes on behind the scenes to protect us, let's talk about our part of the deal. Because great security isn't a one-way street. It's absolutely a partnership.
Even with all this amazing tech, a weak password is still a weak link. So your job is to make the attacker's job as difficult as humanly possible. Use a password manager, seriously, to create and remember long, random, and unique passwords for every single website. And please, wherever you have the option, turn on multi-factor authentication. It's like adding a second, totally different deadbolt to your digital front door.
So let's just wrap this all up. Real, modern security isn't just one thing. It's all about layers. It starts with one-way hashing, then it gets stronger with unique salting. It's fortified by slow, expensive algorithms, and it's all held together by you, the user, having good, smart security habits. Each layer makes the others that much stronger.
And I want to leave you with this thought. You now know what good, robust password security actually looks like. So the next time you sign up for a service or you log into one you've used for years, just ask yourself, do I trust that they're doing all this to protect me? It's a pretty important question to consider. Thanks for joining me.